told you not to talk so loud. I had a link to do that.
Hide a dark secret. At a glance, there is nothing to give away the extraordinary disease that has changed the very fabric of their existence. Marriages, jobs and social lives have all been blighted. Only their cars offer a clue to their condition, for these men suffer from the worst auto-related illness known to man, escortosis. But what exactly is escortosis? We asked an expert.
Oh yes, escortosis, a strange and terrible disease affecting literally thousands throughout Britain. The symptoms are easy to recognise. An obsession with Ford's small rear-wheel drive family car of the 1960s and 1970s. It is hard to believe that such workaday wheels could grow to have such a hold on the minds of men. But auto-medical research suggests that the secret of this car's unearthly grip may lie with the virus motorsportus credibilitas. And there's a mountain of evidence to support this theory. From the late 60s to the start of the 80s, the Escort was a formidable force in motorsport, in the hands of men like Hannu Mikkola and Roger Clark, who threw the car to victory in rallies all over the world. This was a time when men wore their t-shirts tight, their sideburns wide, and their hair was kept in place with Cossack hairspray. In short, they were cool as hell. So it's not surprising that it's the sporting cars that have caused more cases of escortosis than any other. The appeal is a blend of rally-born cred and Starsky & Hutch chic, topped off with 4-spoke alloys, fishnet Recaro seats, and any colour as long as it's day-glow. They're as 70s as the Fonzie's quiff and as subtle as Roy Wood's wardrobe.
It's just the shape of this body, 70s style, it just does it for me.
It's like being back in the 70s, so emulating all the 70s rally drivers.
It's hard work. I mean, you drive a normal car and then you drive that, and those wide wheels, it's like a big fight to get it round the bends, but it's part of the fun, really.
They stem from a very good sporting pedigree through the 70s, and it's a classic that a lot of people can now afford.
The first warmish Escort was the Mark I GT, launched in 1968. Later the same year came the twin cam with a beefed-up body and a Lotus engine. In 1970 came the RS 1600 and the Mexico, named after the car's win in the London-Mexico Rally that year. Also launched in the same year was the RS 2000, perhaps the definitive Mark I Escort. In 1975, along came the squared-off Mark II. The GT was replaced by the Sport, but the Mexico name continued, and these wide wheel arches, known as an X-Pack, were available as a factory option. Again, the RSs are the ones to have, either the ultra-rare 1800 or the 2000, powered by the 2-litre Pinto engine and distinguished by its sloping plastic snout. But even today, few owners can resist the urge to tweak, and a huge industry has grown up to service the escortosis sufferer. There are suspension stiffening strut braces, race-style roll cages for the over-enthusiastic, and a huge range of hot camshafts and big carburettors. But for a few, this just isn't enough. Some people, most of them called Jerry Lee or Bubba, believe that a Ford ain't worth diddly if it ain't got a V8. Now, Ford never saw a good reason to stick such a monstrous motor in the Escort, but inevitably, someone has. A 3.6-litre Rover V8 to be precise, but why?
I started off many years ago rallying, which was with the Escorts, so I've got a long line of history with Escorts. I've done many cars up since then, but I found the estate one day, a friend of mine owned it, It just appealed to me to do something different to an escort, especially in the state. Normally you see the saloons all done up and their X-Packs in the Wildwood Arches and things, but estates, very rare.
And it certainly is rare to find one as quick as this. How many estate cars do you know that can do a standing quarter in 14 seconds? Exactly. So is this the fastest escort ever? No. Because this is. Paul Bailey built this Cosworth turbo-engine beast for racing and geared it to do 175 miles an hour.
The car started off as my road car, a very nice road car. I decided to go racing in it in '91 and turn it into this monster that it is today. It's best described as an overgrown kart. I used to race karts when I was younger, and it's exactly the same. Tons of oversteer. You can spin the wheels in any gear.
Not surprising with 560 horsepower to play with, making this the worst case of escort horses ever.
Yeah, we just got back from northern Canada. Went on one of these seal clubbing holidays. Have you heard of them? It's pretty hard, actually. You've got to hit them just on the back of the neck. Otherwise, it all goes wrong, and they live, and then it's awful. Anyway, when I got back, I joined the National Front, but I don't really have that much time to give to them, because obviously I work in the car industry. What? But you know, it's hardly surprising people behave like that, because we're subjected these days to a non-stop bombardment about how evil the car is. Turn on the TV, open a newspaper, listen to the wireless, and all we ever get is the case for the prosecution.
Today, Friends of the Earth is beginning its own pollution patrol. Drivers of vehicles which cause pollution risk fines of up to £2,500.
Traffic is a health problem.
The level of car pollution during an average British summer can damage the lungs of healthy people as well as asthmatics.
Ideally, leave the car at home on every possible occasion.
Much of Britain has been on pollution alert today because of a build-up of smog.
Racing helter-skelter through chemical-killing fields on an elongated open grey.
Right, now, the case for the defence.
They say that more roads means more traffic.
Here are some simple facts. Last year, Britain's car firms earned £12.8 billion in exports. 800,000 people work in the British car industry, making them and flogging them and mending them when they go wrong. 10% of ITV's revenue comes from car advertising. No cars, no Coronation Street. And no Top Gear either. There are 133 car magazines, a myriad of car accessory firms, race teams, car washers, garage attendants, driving instructors. No cars, no roads, a severely battered construction industry.
But wait, here comes an environmentalist waving his arms about, saying he doesn't care. We're all going to be choked to death by the fumes. The ice cap will melt. Everyone in Holland will drown. Oh no!
Shut up. In a polluted city like Los Angeles, the gases coming out of this Porsche's exhaust are cleaner than the air going into its engine. And how about this? One modern Fiesta produces less toxic nonsense than 20 old ones.
Much of this has been achieved with the catalytic converter. A clever thing full of precious metals which goes in your exhaust pipe and turns nasty gases into harmless carbon dioxide. It's good news, except environmentalists say that carbon dioxide causes global warming.
Even if global warming does occur, and some of the worst scenarios that people talk about are fulfilled up to a century from now, that the emissions from cars are not the most appropriate source to tackle. the higher the carbon content of a fuel, the more it contributes to carbon dioxide. I think basic sub-O-level chemistry will tell you that. And in particular, the most difficult fuel in that respect is coal. And the burning of coal in power stations to make electricity is still the chief source for carbon dioxide emissions, much greater than from cars, for example, in all countries.
Cars are not the principal source of carbon dioxide. A poorly insulated house emits much more carbon dioxide in a year than an average car driven over an average distance.
Now there's this huge tome called the Journal of Atmosphere and Terrestrial Physics. Tom Clancy, it is not, but it does say this: there is no man-made contribution to the so-called global warming phenomenon. But we're led to believe that cars wreck the environment in other ways. Which is why so many eco-terrorists choose to use the Citroën 2CV, a charming and frugal little car which, thanks to its spit and Kleenex construction, minimises waste. If you've got to have a car, then really, it should be one of these. But hold on a minute. Where's the catalytic converter? Where are the little markings on everything to make the recycling process easier? There aren't any. The 2CV should carry a government health warning. Research has shown that while it uses 3 times less fuel than, say, a Ferrari, it produces 3 times more pollution. If the world is a whale, then this is a harpoon. So, if a Citroën 2CV is all wrong, what should you have? Well, start saving, because you need one of these. A Mercedes SL. It has 2 catalytic converters. The offcuts from the windows are turned into milk bottles. The glove box lining is fashioned from recycled newspapers, and see that wood? It came from the root of a tree that was already dead. But we can't all afford an SL Mercedes, so what about electric cars? Well, despite billions of dollars of investment, they still get confused by hills. And after less than just 40 miles, you're out of juice. And on top of all this, when you plug it into the mains to charge it up, do remember where the electricity is coming from. That most fabulously green of things, a power station. Aha! But you're saying at least cars like this don't cause asthma. Well, neither do real ones.
In this country, the principal cause of asthma is indoor air pollution, especially at night in the bedroom, and the main cause of that is the house dust mite. And until we do something about that, we'll do nothing about asthma incidents. No one is going to say that car pollution or any other kind of pollution is good for asthmatics, but we have to distinguish between what triggers asthmatic symptoms in people who are already asthmatic and what causes people to be asthmatic in the first place, and that is not cars.
Cars do still pollute the air, of course, but even though there are now 25 million of them in Britain, things are getting better.
Cars are getting a lot cleaner now. In the last 35 years, sulphur emissions have fallen tenfold, and emissions of lead have fallen by 2/3.
And the improvements are going to keep on coming. All the old cars, the real planet killers, are being scrapped. Pretty soon, every car on the road will be a recyclable, cat-equipped tree hugger. There is still the problem of PM10s, though. These airborne particles carry toxins into your lungs and, say the doommongers, kill 3 people a week in a city like Birmingham. But reports have shown that modern petrol-driven cars are responsible for only 5% of PM10s. The real culprits, according to the boffins, are trucks and buses. I've got to tell you this too. Last year, the government raised £25 billion in taxation from Britain's motorists. Even after the road spending was taken care of, they were left with a profit of £18 billion. And that's enough to pay for 428 brand new hospitals. On that basis, cars, frankly, are a social service.
I want to leave you with a sobering thought. 2 drops of petrol evaporating on a garage forecourt produces more pollution than driving this car, a 911 Turbo, from London to Blackpool and back to London again.
The snow-covered mountains of Switzerland are behind me. In front of me, the best the world's car manufacturers can offer. Welcome to the Geneva Motor Show. It's been 35 years since Jaguar launched their E-Type at Geneva. And now the wraps are coming off its spiritual successor. The XK8 replaces the aging XJS, and while that car's unusual lines provoked a mixed reaction when it was launched, this car, seen here in coupe form, has proved quite a hit. What do you think the Dutch will think of it?
Zeer indrukwekkend.
And what does that mean?
Very impressive.
C'est une très belle Jaguar.
The car is molto bella. Oh, in Canada, we love convertibles. About 4 out of 5 of these cars will be convertibles, and it'll be a success there, no question about it.
Only one doubt was left hanging in the air.
The front of it, very sort of retro, very E-type-y, but I have to say that the rest of it looks like a sort of next generation DB7. Might not ever never work in this town again, but yeah, I think so.
Both the coupe and a convertible will be on sale by October, fitted with Ford's 4-litre 32-valve V8. Jaguar are still describing the car as a design study, so they've yet to decide where to put the number plate or let anyone get a really close look at that interior.
The Aston Martin DB7 has been around for a couple of years now, so it's about time they launched a soft-top version. The DB7 Volante was first unveiled at the Detroit show, and it's been developed to relaunch the marque for the American market, where it makes the perfect Californian cruiser.
If you can live with that colour scheme, you can enjoy the same straight six that powers the Volante's coupe sibling. But there's a softer ride because, well, that's just the way the Americans prefer their cars. It won't be available in Europe until the autumn. That'll give you time to save up for the sunbed sessions and the £84,000 asking price.
The car industry would have us believe that this is the decade of the people carrier, and most European manufacturers have already got a model in this highly competitive market. So Vauxhall are a little late entering the fray with this, the Sintra.
Built in the States, Vauxhall claim group-leading levels of fuel economy, and their boxy design has all the room we've come to expect from people carriers. However practical, I can't help wondering whether there's really a market for all these bulky vehicles. Mercedes are convinced there is, and have launched the luxurious V230, certainly a big hit with the Far East R&D types. It's the same plush Mercedes experience for the driver, but there's lots of new toys for the execs in the back.
Renault are hedging their bets. They've developed an all-new MPV based on the floor pan of their pretty Megane.
This looks a far more manageable vehicle for the school run and gives the trendy family the flexibility they need for outdoorsy weekends. It's yet another indication that Renault looks set for the kind of design-led renaissance Fiat have been enjoying.
A few surprises at the Geneva Motor Show. This year, a little-known Italian businessman has announced plans to relaunch the little-known Isotta Fraschini. Back in the 20s and 30s, they were renowned for their flamboyance. This time, they've gone for a more sober design. Less fanciful, but a good deal more likely to reach your local dealer's garage forecourt is this, the Toyota Starlet. Now, Toyota expect big things from this little car, and it's going to be available in both 3- and 5-door versions.
It might look mundane, but with its new 1.3-litre 16-valve engine, brisk performance is promised. Last year, the MGF provided the glamour. This year, it's an Audi.
In a departure from their usual modest model range, Audi are entering the two-seater sports market with this, the dramatic TTS.
An aggressive shape, but certainly a memorable one. Audi promised few changes when production starts in 1998. The lean looks will stay. The fate of the stitched interior is less certain.
Geneva has always been the show where manufacturers have revealed their concept cars. And Renault are celebrating 50 years of the 4CV, with this, the aptly named 50, a retro concept if that's at all possible. And you can forget about the seat moving. The dashboard and the pedals, for that matter, come to you. Last year, all we heard about were cup holders. Well, the 50's gone one stage further. There's even somewhere to put your can.
Renault deny there are any plans to put this into production, but that's what they said about last year's concept, the Spider, and that goes on sale in Britain in right-hand drive this year. Ford have brought a couple of concepts to Geneva. The Synergy, though Synergy of what, it's hard to tell. And the Indigo, which picks up on the current US fascination with hot rod styling. It's always good to see what the design houses are up to. Subaru has updated a traditional Alpha shape. But Tony has done some very strange things to his Vauxhall Calibra, creating a coupe estate called the Slalom. And Ital Design have added an extra couple of seats to the Fiat Barchetta.
Well, that's it from down there and up here. A view of the present and a vision of the future from Geneva.
Next week, the cutting edge of motorsport, wrecking two cars at once. The car that thinks it's a Healy. And how to get lost in style with a computerized map.
And the Jaguar XK8, the star of the Geneva Motor Show, is featured in the April issue of Top Gear magazine.
Again in a couple of minutes. You would tell me if I was looking silly, wouldn't you? Of course I would.
As with many things in this life, grace and beauty on the surface often belie the activity beneath. The Vauxhall Carlton, engineered for unruffled grace.
It's the way we make you feel that makes people fly British Airways. The world's favourite airline.
If you get a headache, you just don't feel very bright. And if the pain gets worse, it can really get you down. To stop bad pain, try a painkiller with something extra. Soluble Anadin Extra, 40% more pain reliever than many ordinary tablets. New Anadin Extra Soluble. Turns off pain.
New Cadbury's Time Out is a wafer snack with a difference. A layer of Cadbury's flake chocolate. Now, when you take a break, take a time out.
The president is now stable, Dr. Billy!
Billy takes time out.
If you've got a cough, Vino's is all you need to know.
Welcome back to a Carlton New Year as we go into 1993. We're now at the nerve centre of London Fire Brigade's headquarters. We'll make our way through here with some of the guys who are looking after us through the small hours of the morning are actually looking rather quiet. Evening all. Hi chaps. Very quiet, if I may say so.
Indeed we are.
very, very dull, if I may say so. For a...
No, never done. We've actually had a few shouts already today.
This time of the year, is it extra busy or...?
It tends to be certain types of calls that we attend.
What sort of things do you get over this period?
A lot of